What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 1 of the Last Rep podcast with my guest, Allison Young. Me and Allison went to Valhalla High School together, graduated 2014, and now she is a physical therapist. Where's your office?
I'm at Access Physical Therapy in Armonk, New York.
Very nice. So we're going to talk about some physical therapy. We're going to talk about some fitness. Let's get right into it. So Allison, talk to me about like some crossovers between like your personal fitness and your patients and how you treat them. I know you're really into fitness, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that my personal fitness philosophy is to really focus on functional movement, a good balance of strengthening, obviously getting the cardiovascular side of things. But I feel like with physical therapy, a big thing that people need more than anything, at least in the setting that I'm in, is strengthening and motor control of their muscles. And so that's been a big thing that I have learned in my personal fitness journey, that mind-muscle connection, the neuromuscular connection, in terms of gaining strength and control of your limbs and your back and your neck in order to go about your daily life as pain-free as possible. And so, for example, in my training, a lot of the things that I work on include hip extension, strength, hip abductor strength, so really getting those hips nice and strong, and then the deep core muscles like transversus abdominis with the planks, and really focusing hard on form. I think with fitness, people can just think about going hard all the time, high intensity, burning as many calories as possible, and there's a time and a place for that. But I think going back to the very basic level of squats, lunges, planks, push-ups, and doing those extremely well, activating all of the muscles that they're meant to activate, can go so far in terms of protecting your body and making it strong for anything that life throws at you. And then from there you can build off and do many other things. And I think that's what I try to take my patients back to when they come in with a lot of pain. First start on your back and do some dead bugs. It's not as hard as a plank, but getting that activation there first and doing it well, making sure that they're actually activating it, not just moving through the motions, in order to, be safe in the next step. Because if they don't have that foundation, then the things that they do after that won't work the way that they're supposed to. And so I would say functional, also bringing things back to the basics and doing them really well is how I like to train. And then from there you can do other fun things, but unless you have those things first, nothing else will really be strong enough, and you can actually hurt yourself from there. So like I said, a big thing that I like to focus on is hip extension strength, hip abductor strength. I think those things were really challenging for me when I first started fitness. I'm a very quad dominant person, and I see that in a lot of patients who have knee injuries and ankle injuries and things like that. There's a lot of weakness in the hip extensors and hip abductors. So hip extensors being like glute max, and hip abductors being glute medius, the ones that bring your leg out to the side there. And so without the strength of those muscles, people start to bend their knees and really put a lot of strain on their knees because they're not utilizing the glutes to extend as they squat, as they step up, as they go on hikes, as they run, as they walk. And in that repetitive motion and repetitive strain on the knees because of the quad activation, they tend to injure their knees, get a lot of strain, patellofemoral syndrome. Over time, if people have knee osteoarthritis, that increases the pain of that. And so focusing on really strong glute max and glute med helps a lot. And so that's a big thing that we work on for both patients who have knee pain, ankle pain, back pain, and even neck pain. Everything is connected.
Wow.
And another thing that I wish that I had more time to focus on in my physical therapy is general fitness. When patients come in, they come in for a specific body part, and because of insurance purposes, we're supposed to focus only on that body part. And oftentimes that means, okay, if it's a back issue, we'll treat the hips and a little bit of the spine above that as well, because it's all connected. But what I do sometimes wish I could do is tell them, okay, ankle mobility matters in this matter. overall leg strength, overall core strength, balance and endurance, all of those things. And in the nature of an outpatient orthopedic setting, sometimes it's hard to give them all of those things in their course of care. And so a big thing as we discharge patients and as they start to feel less pain, I give them a lot of different exercises, and I tell them that exercise in general is what you need in order to actually maintain all of the gains that you've made here at physical therapy, because if your whole body is strong and working together well, that's what will help you from future injury. It's not just me massaging your back, it's not just you doing some ab exercises, it's the whole body and everything's connected. And so that's also what I like to do in my own personal fitness, is doing a little bit of everything, not in a way that's unfocused, but not forgetting about the accessory work, not always thinking about just burning calories, thinking, okay, how can I improve my balance? How can I improve my strength? How can I improve the activation of these muscles in an exercise that I think is easy? And how can I make it harder for myself without, doing some crazy thing with a plank, a single leg, one-armed plank or whatever, just a basic plank.
Wow. Wow. I'm going to say that was such an excellent answer, and you've always been so well prepared, with school and everything, and that just gave me such flashbacks of how much of a good student you were, and I just want to say that it really makes me feel good, and it inspires me that you're so dedicated to your work, and it really shows. And the reason why I asked that question was because I knew that you were going to have this deep passion and reason towards what you're trying to get out of your patients, and I can definitely relate to that. In simple terms, practice what you preach. So I want to thank you for that incredible answer, guys. She knows what she's doing. She's the real deal. But most importantly, you have a big heart and you care, and that really does show. Excellent work with what you're doing, and I truly admire you for that. With all that being said, you ready to do some kettlebell swings and some burpees?
Let's do some kettlebell swings.
There we go. How'd that feel?
Great. I'm gassed.
She loved it. So, now, I want to know, has fitness helped your motivation? Has it helped your productivity, maybe in other aspects of life at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I think at this point, and for a while, my fitness style has been short bursts of activity, but with a lot of consistency. And so that's been probably what I bring into everything else that I do in my life, where, as long as you give it a shot, start the exercise, start the workout. If you feel like crap, you don't have to keep going. Do what you absolutely can and do your 100% for that day. And 100% for that day might not match you on your best day, but at least you're doing it and you're still working towards your goals, your fitness. And so that's how I apply that to the rest of my life, where We all have crap days. We all have really great days. As long as you're starting, giving it your best effort for that day, and doing that with consistency rather than letting yourself be discouraged. Even if you have a week or 2 weeks or a month where you're just not really feeling like intense workouts. And on a personal level, that's sort of where I've been at ever since starting work, because work has been so challenging. I don't have as much time for exercise. Just doing it, starting it, being consistent, and being diligent about, again, my form and my intensity in the moment as best as I can. That is what transfers well to other parts of my life where, you know, even if I don't feel like I'm doing my absolute best total, I'm doing my best for that day, and that consistency is what helps to build greatness.
Wow, I really like to hear that. Consistency, such a strong word, such a simple concept, but yet probably one of the hardest things to accomplish. And I think you're very consistent with your workouts. I think you're very focused on improvement, and it's obvious to me why you're doing so well in other aspects of your life. So thank you. Key word, consistency. No matter what you're doing, keep going, right? When it gets tough, when you're not feeling good, all the more reason to keep going. You ready to work out some more?
Let's do some more.
Woo! How'd that feel?
I'm toast.
She's toast. She's toast. So I definitely did a little scouting for our interview today, and I wanted to do workouts that I noticed that you do. You know, so I tried to do my best impersonation of you in terms of programming. So my question to you is why have you gravitated towards kettlebells so much in your fitness? Is there a reason? You just like them? What's going on with that?
Yeah, so it's actually thanks to COVID and the quarantine, because when I was in Boston, our gyms closed, and so I was like, okay, what's the most all-purpose piece of equipment that I can get, that I can use in my like 8 by 6 foot area in my apartment room where I was working out in Boston. And I decided, okay, a 35-pound kettlebell from Amazon will work just fine. And honestly,
Definitely.
because I got that piece of equipment and I had to find different ways and unique ways to use it, I actually felt like I was getting stronger in ways that I never had before. Because again, I was going back to those basics and seeing how can I make this harder in a small space with exercises that I already know. So that was born, and then when I came back here, I followed some people on Instagram, the great world of Instagram, and I found that this group of people were meeting up outdoors in New Rochelle, and I messaged one of the girls and I said, how experienced do you have to be to go to this thing? And she said, well, honestly, everybody here is kettlebell certified, but if you have a basic swing down, you can come and try to learn. So I asked the guy who leads it, Alex, at Kettlebell Gains Apparel, and he was like, yeah, sure, come on down.
That's awesome.
And from them, I learned a lot of new things, the snatch, cleans, and all these different kettlebell flows, and it's this big community, and they're incredible, but I've definitely gained a lot of strength and mobility and stability from the kettlebell.
That's awesome. I love to hear that, because like I'm actually have my RKC.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
So that's just a kettlebell certification where they make you do like 1 million snatches in like under 5 minutes. It was like the hardest thing I ever did in my life, but like I preach kettlebells here. I love them. Like you said, they're simple, but they get the job done.
Oh, Yeah.
And I guess my follow-up question for you would be like, I always notice that your workouts are like 20 minutes, like 30 minutes. Do you have anything like that you want to like share about like that? And like, how do you do that? Like, how do you make your workouts so efficient, focus on so many things, but yet the duration is short?
Yeah. So me doing those workouts that were shorter is a product of years of college and school and now work, where, you know, I want to get in a warm-up. That's the first part, where people are like, oh yeah, I'll go to the gym, I'll jump right into my workout, take an hour. I say 15 to 20 minutes of my workout is warming up. And I think that that's extremely important for me, again, for injury prevention and just doing my workout well. So that's set aside. So then the next 20, 30 minutes is all I have. And what I try to do in that 20, 30 minute session is high intensity interval training is something that I like to do. But even if I can't do that, again, if I pick 3 strength exercises, even if it's squat, push-up, pull-up, and I do quality sets of that, my body will be gaining a lot more benefit from that versus if I did like some YouTube cardio video. Not that there's anything wrong with those, but just trying, again, think about burning as many calories as I can, because I'm not thinking about it. If I put my mind into the muscles that I'm using, then that's an effective session. And when I'm done with those sessions, I feel like I have done work for my body. And so as long as it's quality versus quantity, I'm okay with that.
So that's an excellent answer. I just want to tell you guys that are watching, what is it, Allison Moves and Grooves?
So yeah, Daily Moves and Grooves is my blog, and then
Daily Moves and Grooves blog.
Yep. At Allison_Grooves is the Instagram handle.
Okay, so that's her Instagram. So please give her a follow. She has awesome content up there and excellent workouts that are very time efficient, built for busy schedules, and also not a lot of equipment is needed. So give her a follow. Check that stuff out. I know I definitely steal some stuff from her myself. It's really good. So now you ready to get into some more kettlebells? She doesn't look ready.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah. My quad.
Oh, my quad.
That was horrible right here.
They've exploded.
In this general vicinity right here. That was a lot of pain. I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot of pain. So now, for my next question, I want to know, has fitness done good things for your overall mood and mindset throughout life?
Oh yes, absolutely. And I think it wasn't always that way for me. A lot of times I would, again, put pressure on myself to burn a certain number of calories, look a certain way, and when I put that aside and thought, okay, what will actually be good for my body? How can I do something that's actually enjoyable? It changed the game. It actually made me fitter, stronger, faster. And so, especially now that I'm at work and I'll be at the office 10, 11 hours a day, and even if it's just going on a walk, just getting oxygen into my body and doing the mobility work that I need to do, essentially practicing what I preach to my patients, that does absolute wonders for my mindset, makes me a better person, helps me to be a good physical therapist to other people. So I try not to cut that out even when I say I don't have time, because I know that that is what helps me to actually do better for my patients and for my family and friends.
That's awesome, and I like what she said, you know. She said she doesn't want to get too caught up in burning a certain number of calories. You know, nowadays we see everybody with their Fitbits, and I think Fitbits are great. But like, you know, got to complete a certain number of rings or else my day wasn't worth living.
Right.
You know, but it's like, what you said was perfect. It's like, have a purpose. What's my reason for doing this workout? What's my reason for doing this exercise, right? And I think that translates into life. Most things that you're gonna thrive in or be successful in, you have some sort of plan.
Yeah.
There's some sort of mission to accomplish, and you're doing that with your workouts, you're doing that with life, and it's awesome to hear that fitness has helped you in those aspects. I really like it. So speaking of snatches,
Oh,
you ready to do some snatches?
let's do some snatches.
All right. All right. So you said that was your favorite one so far?
That was good. I like that.
Good. That was awesome. A lot of fun. So, what I want to ask you, what I want to ask you is, and I'm being completely honest right now, what would you say if I told you that I think you do several things better than me in fitness?
How would I respond to that?
Yeah. What would you believe it?
I would not, honestly. And I'm not just saying that because this is your podcast.
Yeah.
But I mean, like even a year or two ago when I started coming to your gym, you had so many things to teach me, even just how to properly start a kettlebell swing. I remember that particularly. And your style of training and your philosophy in terms of, I remember you saying how you don't want people to run their bodies into the ground just for some fitness goals. You want longevity of fitness. And that's something that I had to adopt in my fitness journey, and to be inspired by you in your success and obviously your results with your own fitness journey, that really struck me in terms of how I saw fitness. I was like, okay, yeah, Paul's doing great. He's obviously strong and fit, and this is his philosophy. And I knew that that was what was true, but having somebody who I looked up to in that way preach that and teach that to your clients, I thought that that was a good motivation and push for me. And with that, as well as all the things that I learned from PT and my own fitness journey, all those things together make me who I am in my fitness philosophy, I guess. But it's not to say that yours is any less than mine, because I definitely learned from you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I really, really appreciate that answer, and you're so sweet. And I don't mean to say like better or worse, but I'm just like trying to commend you and say like, you might look at me and say, oh, everything that he does is so perfect, and you own a gym, but like what I want to tell you is that when I'm watching some of the workouts that you do, I'm truly saying to myself, like, there's no way I'll be able to do that. Like for real. And like, not to say better or worse, but I just want to let you know that if every single person in the physical therapy world had your mindset, had your work ethic towards fitness, I think we would have a very, very promising future in that area. And in my head, I think one day you might be like on the sidelines of a professional team. Like, I think you're at that level, I really do. But even if that doesn't happen, I know that you're still gonna have a very fulfilling and successful career, but it eases my mind to know that if you're a 20-year senior and someone comes in straight out of PT school and they might not be giving it their all in the fitness realm, that you might be like that guidance to be like, hey, let's practice what you preach a little bit. And that's what I see for your future, whether it's on an athletic field, professional soccer game, which I know you're extremely capable to do, or you're just this person to look up to for the up and coming generation. I think it's just extremely motivating, and more people should have your fitness aspirations, more of your fitness mindset that go into physical therapy, and I really appreciate what you do.
Thank you so much. It's really kind of you to say. It means a lot.
And thanks again for being on the podcast. Did you have a good time?
Such a good time. That was the best work I've had in a long time, so thank you.
I'm happy to hear that. Well, thanks guys for watching. Stay tuned for episode 2. Again, Max Impact Training, White Plains, New York. If you haven't checked us out, come on by, and you'll get to have a workout just like that. All right, guys. All right.
Ooh, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That was awesome.